we're gonna go up and take a look at our reflection. See what we got so far. Right up these stairs. Probably could use a cleaning. Here's what we got. I think I might have called this a fusion before. It's called a reflection. You see the other concern, looking at a camper like this, if this roof comes up and then it really drops down. You see that foam gasket right there. But imagine how much water would be traveling down in a storm. I mean, just naturally by gravity, how it would pile up before it would even fall off the edges on a coach like this. That's where the curbs come in, where it'll raise it up and it'll keep the water out of there like it should be. All right. Gonna make a skylight here. And we just, the decking up underneath here is all dry. Checked all that. It's dry. Everything's dry. So we just put the blower on here just as a safeguard to make sure there was nothing else under there. So we got to loosen some of that up to get in there. And then do some other prudent inspections on to make sure this one over here is okay as well. So that's about where we're at so far. So we got at least 1, 2, maybe even 3 sheets to replace, or 2.5 or so. So we'll check that out. And that's about us on this reflection, not fusion, reflection. Alright, this is our reflection update here. These were the 3 pieces that were bad up in the front. So we replaced them. And we put some mold kill around any areas we thought may need it. The electrical coming up. This is all dry, it's sound, it's just kind of stained. So we sprayed this all down just to make sure there wasn't anything compromised in there at all. So we got some new decking right here. We're gonna put that on there just a little bit. Start prepping the roof. Next thing we gotta do is get our strips ready and start getting the roof in itself ready to go down. Because structurally, this is all we have, is these 3 pieces that we need to put on here. So we'll be back with more on this reflection. This is our reflection update. So we got all our strips laid out. We're starting to get them all glued. These strips are going to go over here. So once they get glued down, they'll get down like this. Protect this edge. All they used was that's just drywall mesh tape. That's all it is. And then up here, we replaced this decking, and then because of the way this kind of crowns up, we had a little burp in here, so we sanded that down so it looks nice and clean. And again, we're going to run the strips here, and we're going to run the strips along here, this whole area. So you'll have strips on there, these protective strips, and that prevents any chafing from here, because it's kind of sharp, and after a while, you know, the coaches kind of flex and twist a little bit as they go down the road. So we don't want this part here to kind of chafe into the main membrane. This is the same product. This is the roofing that's going on. This is the actual roofing, but it comes in 10-foot lengths. So what we do is we just rip them down. That's about 3.5 inches or so, and we put them down here to protect it. So it's the same material. It's a 60 mil. It's a 60 mil material. That's what it's called. It's a structured membrane. If you look at it, maybe if I can get the light just right in there, maybe able to see those little squares. That is what you call a structured membrane. Oh, it blurred out on me. Try it again. Those little squares, those are called structured membrane. You can see it right there by my thumb. And you can actually see it right here too. So that gives it some strength some strength against hail, tree branches, things like that. So that's our reflection update. So the next thing we did is we already cut the roofing. We gotta get the strips all glued down, and then we can get the roofing on, and then keep moving forward. And I'll try and give you as many updates as I can. Sometimes I get so busy that I don't get every little bit of footage that I like to on some of these coaches, but you can watch some other videos, and hopefully I included them in there, because the installation is all the same on every coach. It's just all the different repairs that we have to do to pull it back together. All right, let's go and give you an update on our reflection. Alright, so we've got it glued down. Get our protective strips in here. You can see them all along the edges and going across. So we've got all those. We've got some glue on there. And we're going to roll it over. And then on this particular roof, there's a lot of angles on this. And to try to get a structured membrane to sit, it is probably not going to work out quite that well. You may have some bubbles in it. So that's what we're working on right now. Make sure it goes down well. And we'll show you that when we get going with it. It'll still be all put back together, but like I said, we'll show you what's going on with it. We ran into a couple of these because the angle, especially up in the front, that front, it just drops right off. And when you try to do that, just imagine taking a piece of paper and trying to keep a piece of paper going this way, and then try to make the paper go this way. You're going to end up with a little, what you call, fish mouth. So that's what we're working on. But right now we got it glued down, and that's what we're working on. So here's our little reflection. So we come down here, check this tape. You can feel these under here. I really like those, but it's not breached. So I'll show you what it is in a second. It's actually screw heads. That's what they are. So we check this one here. So more than likely we're going to tear them out. It isn't part of our work order to do a slide out. We check them, and then normally what we'll do is make sure there's sealant inside here, and then here make sure it's down. So we just wash this down. It looked like it was a little breached, but so here's why I'm going to decide to do that. I'll show you. On this other side, the roof itself is all done. I was going to do I'll do an end video on the next clip. So we had some tape that was not seated well, and this is factory. Look at those screw heads. See how high up they are? Those are the wrong screws. Should be a pan head on there. So we'll take all these screws out, because I don't want that. It's just going to breach. So now when this thing opens up, it's going to keep catching it. It's going to keep catching it. See how that tape is coming? So it's just going to keep catching it. It doesn't make sense. So I'll fix that. We'll get that done for him, I guess. And well, now that I see what the whole issue is, like you said, we're going to go over there and do that there. So this is our reflection. Right. So this is the driver's side right here. And if you remember, we had those screws that were popping up, so we fixed this. Fixed the other one over there as well. And the whole roof is done. The roof is complete. We got everything all welded in there. These are curbs that we designed. These curbs will keep the roof components out of the actual roof line. And there's flanges on here that are welded in. So as water comes down, it's going to have to, even if it was driving water, it would hit it here and it would roll out. So it's not going to be able to get up inside there. The air conditioner's got a front piece of detail flashing on there. So when water is actually coming down, it won't be able to get in front as well. A lot of times you can see the way the air conditioners sit. You can see there's room in the back, there's room on the side, but in the front it's really close. So I don't want any water to roll around and then try to trickle back. There's a foam gasket under there. So what that piece up front here does, what that does, is it makes and forces the water to go below that flange and roll out. So these roofs, this one here is kind of difficult because of the way it slopes. It slopes so much down. It's really quite a bit of a slope, and also it cambers over. So on the other side, you can see the front, that really rolls. And this material, this is a 60 mil commercial grade TPO. It really doesn't want to do all that. So what we had to do is distress it. These are some strips we put in, but these are all heat welded just like these are. So it's all one piece. So if you were to try to tear it up, it would come up as one piece. If you were able to get it up off of this roof deck. Okay, so same thing here. We replace this one. Everything's all heat welded in there. This is all sealed. Now those over there, you're probably saying, what is that for? I'm gonna go over there and explain it. What that is, we're gonna put an antenna on there. It's a wind guard antenna. And those are bolts. See the thread there? There's another one on that other side around the bend there. The wind guard will sit on it. It's a digital antenna. It'll sit on there and we'll just put 7/16 nuts on them, and then there's a wire coming out that'll loop around and just screw onto the antenna. It's easy peasy. So they didn't have the antenna, they ordered it, but they didn't bring it or have it drop shipped. A lot of times you can have things like that drop shipped to us and we'll mount it on there for you. It's not much to do anyways. So here's the one on the passenger side. We've got this one done as well, and these screws are not the same screws at all, even though in the tape you're going to see something underneath it, but the screws we took out, those ones were pretty aggressive. The ones we put in, I'm trying to see if I got one or two hanging around here, but it's actually flat. They're flat. So, but you're still going to see something. So there's the mount for the antenna, like I was saying. It's almost on the same style as these plumbing boots. We made these plumbing boots here. And those are just some bell caps on there. And the same with the skylight lens right here. You can see that's the way we do the heat welding and the flanges on there. And these are the typical way we do our boots like this. And that's all a pourable sealer. And there's just no way that anything could get in there. It's always going to stay flexible like that. Typically all they do is mount this piece, on the roof, slather with caulking. It's just not a good way to try to seal something out. It usually doesn't work. So, well, this is our reflection. And you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can access a lot of that from our website, rvroofinstall.com. Then right here, we also put the month and the year that we do the roof, and we can watch it as this person comes in and we keep checking everything out. We want to make sure the roof is functioning properly, and now we know when it was put on and if everything's going well. So, and we're not afraid to brand our roofs. You know who put this roof on. Actually, you'd know it anyways, even if it wasn't on there. If anybody knows that we're the only ones that do this type of roof, I designed them. So I'm the only certified RV shop in the country. So if you got any questions, give us a call, 423-475-7663. Thanks for watching.